ignite souls, entertain, educate, recreate, and intoxicate.
All right. What's up, guys?
What's up?
How are you been?
Oh, wait, there we go. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm
Doing
good.
good.
Tired, but good. Long day.
Yeah.
I was up at
Yeah.
3 down in Dallas for work stuff and up at 3 to fly back. So been going at it all day.
All right.
So if I fall asleep, just, ignore me.
All
I'll try to mute so I don't snore. All right. So let's see who we got in the house tonight. John Kennedy. Hey, John, how you doing? Good to see you. Daniel. Finally met Daniel when we were down at Mothman Festival.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was great to meet Daniel. Had a good time down there. We're going to spend a little bit of time tonight talking about Mothman Festival, since all three of us were down there. Also, Jen and one of my kids came with, so it was fun. Got to walk around a little bit, visit with Tim, Kenny, and Daniel, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But we'll talk about the torture we endured. It wasn't horrible, but there's enough torture there. So we'll do about a half hour on that, and then we're going to switch and play around with ChatGPT. Since it's something that we've been talking about using in artificial intelligence and things we do at work, and I thought it'd be interesting. So I downloaded it. I'm bored, of course. Not that I'm bored with work, but let's see. Are ghosts real? And you started asking these paranormal questions. Some of the answers I got back, some expected, some maybe not so expected. So I thought we would each pose a question or two and then, ask ChatGPT, which I already did. And then we can either read our answers and then comment on them, or whatever you guys want to do. We could give our thoughts on what we think it's going to say and see how that conflicts, or we could do both.
We're going to make predictions.
Is Kenny Biddle cool? Fuck off. What? Anyway, so yeah,
I haven't heard that before.
So that is
the heard
plan
that here
for tonight. Hey, Melissa, good to see you in the chat room. Welcome. All right, opening comments. So I will throw it down to Tim.
Oh, I had a good time. I had a good time hanging out with you guys. So that was the first time I've been back to the Mothman Festival since, I want to say, around 2018, maybe 2017. And it was much different in that little short time. I'll just say it was crowded. Still had a good time walking through and hanging out with you guys. Found the band on the river. That was kind of cool. Walked down to the memorial for the bridge collapse. That was nice. But it was far more crowded than what I remember. It was way more. And I guess this is kind of long and opening, but when I was there prior to, that whole street that we were on all the way to the very end was open. All of it was open. And it seemed like they cut that entire street in half and really jammed. You okay, Kenny?
He's having a moment.
Yeah, he is.
Get ready to call 911. Make sure he's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I went down the wrong pipe.
Yep.
And I'm trying to click the mute button. Like, oh, don't start coughing. Don't start coughing.
Yeah. So it was just, it was a little bit of it seems like with the growth that had in that little period of time, they would have had more space open. But
did they have it during COVID, or did they close it down for what, 1 year or 2?
Oh,
or was
that's
it
a
3?
good question. I know that they canceled it once.
Okay. Because I wonder if it's still a little post-COVID return. Just seemed like a ton of people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it'll be interesting. I'll Google and see if I can find an estimated.
That'd be good.
Crowd.
Right.
Either that or the topic is popular again, or it was just such a nice day out. Why not?
Yeah.
It was beautiful out that day.
Nice
It was perfect weather for it.
Right.
So, all right. Anything else, Tim, or should we toss it over to Kenny?
Toss it over to Kenny.
All
Kenny.
right.
Opening thoughts.
Opening thoughts. Way too crowded, overcrowded. To be honest, for a street fair, basically. I thought they could have widened it a little bit more. There were on either end, like you had one end of town, excuse me, was almost to like the end of the main street,
Mm-hmm.
and you went down towards the other side, towards I think it was the VFW post, um, down there, and it was kind of open. It was almost like there was a lot of wasted space, where the vendors could have spread out more because they were packed. I mean, you had your businesses on the main street that were open, and then you had tents for vendors like right out, not just in the street, but they were like piled up on the sidewalk too sometimes, with their like racks or tables or whatever. So I think they could have spread out a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and given people more room because I mean, even trying to get through, when we first got there, excuse me, I'm still, oh my God. When we first got there and we're actually trying to find you, Dave, we were like trying
Well,
to
I think I text you guys, and all I get is a picture from on top of the bridge looking down. And they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna be a while."
yeah, it's going to be a
Damn.
little bit. And if I, excuse me, another complaint that we started to talk about was that there wasn't much in the way of like paranormal vendors, I guess you would want to call it. Like it was a craft fair to me. It was like a street fair, where you had a bunch of crafters, like painters, different artists. They had like plush toys, they had regular toys, they had like face painting, but they had wood crafting, and a lot of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there was only one guy that would be considered like a paranormal person, and like that I found. Well, actually, Daniel Reed found him and and really annoyed the shit out of him. um, but he was selling like replica Bigfoot casts, stuff like that, and they were even like the guy said it was like second generation casts, and
So they
to
cast
me
what they cast.
that yeah, like that's a cast of a cat, like a cast made from a mold that was made from a
They
cast,
cast.
of a mold, like that. Yeah, wait,
Okay,
yeah.
I got you. Okay.
So yeah, so and he's selling, and they weren't. They were from a company. I found them online. You can
Mhm.
purchase them right from the company, and he just buys them and then stamps them. So he doesn't make them himself, which kind of like was like, all right, you're just a reseller. No big deal. He gave me a card, a laminated card, because I bought a chupacabra one, because I've never
Oh.
seen one. It looks like a raccoon.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a raccoon, foot, which I kind of think it is, but it was interesting. It was $20, so I bought it, and I actually made a display out here at the center with some other information about that whole myth. But yeah, I guess my biggest complaints were that there were way too many people, and that it wasn't, except for the Mothman Museum, which we can talk about that too, because I kind of found that, um,
Yeah, we can
yeah.
talk about that. Yeah.
You're like,
We didn't go that trip because
Okay.
it was the line was insane. It was a block and a half, 2 blocks long.
right.
I'm like, nah, we'd been there before and went through it. And then, okay, if you want to sit and read articles and look at things, I
So
don't know.
I did Daniel and I got there Friday. So when I got to the hotel, I contacted him, we got together and we went into town, and people were setting up and the museum was open. There were only like 10 people in line. So we got in line and walked around, and my first thing, the first thing I want to do when I get into a place like that, I just take pictures of everything. So all the documents that were on display, snap, 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 just going down the line, making sure I got sharp pictures of everything. And then at one point I turned around and I'm like, Daniel, we're the only ones here. And that was it. Everyone else was gone. And apparently it was closing time.
Oh,
They weren't kicking us out, though. They were just like, yeah, we're cleaning up. Don't worry about it. They were really nice. The staff was really cool.
Mhm.
And I mean, I probably shouldn't say it, but I was able to get in the next day after closing to film.
Allegedly.
Oh,
Allegedly.
very nice.
I lost my wallet in there, and they let me come in to look for it. And I filmed. I took video of everything. So, yeah, with that kind of place, I'm not really. It was so busy that I just wanted to get my pictures, get out, because then I can look at them later. I'm not worried about that, And I mean, it was a lot.
So our tip is do it the day before or after the conference is over.
Yeah.
Or the festival. It's not a conference much, but festival, because you couldn't get in there. If you wanted to, you'd spend the whole day waiting in line just to go through that.
Yeah. When I have people ask what's it like, and can they visit the Mothman Museum, I typically say, if you really want to visit the museum, either go a couple days early and just plan to stay, because you're not going to get in there during the festival.
Almost as bad as the hayride out to the bunkers.
Yeah.
We passed on that one too. We drove out afterwards. After we said goodbye to you guys, we just drove out there, circled around, sat for a couple of minutes just to say we did. And I mean, we'd been out to the spot too, in the general area, not the actual spot, but the general area. We went out there a couple years ago when we were staying overnight and parked out there. And yeah, sure, it's cool. It's creepy. You go out, it's dark as hell out there. Big old forest looking, creepy trees, little gravel road. You sit on the side of it. Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a good time.
Those are everywhere down here.
But yeah, I mean,
it's creepy everywhere down there too, because it's West Virginia.
It's true.
Somebody, is that Alan? Oh, I need my glasses.
Here we go.
I can't read. Yeah,
Alan.
Mothman was first time. It was okay. I was expecting more, and I felt the same way. Like, because when I went in the first time, that was 2009, and it was across the street, in a different location, and it was pretty much the same. But in this, again, it was nice. It's a cool visitor kind of thing for the legend. But there was way too much emphasis on like the movie, and they had props in there. And even Daniel Reed made a comment about they have a paint can, like a gallon paint can, and that's like the prop from the movie. And it's like, okay, it's a paint can, it's not like a costume that was worn, for the movie or something like that. So I was expecting more too, but it was basically like, hey, here's a few things, because that's one of the things I think we discussed, is that there's just no physical evidence to present. The only thing that they had was the handwritten. Oh, we talked about it the last show. I think that's when we talked about it. They only had the handwritten notes. So there was nothing else. And so there's really nothing to see except for a whole bunch of newspaper clippings over the years, and then movie props and pictures. So, I mean, again, it was cool. I don't want to knock it, and I know it sounds like I am.
I mean, we go to places like you go to New Orleans. It's like, okay, where was American Horror Story film? Let's go look at where they shot it, where the set was. Right. Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of cool to say you did it, and you see the costumes or some of the props. I mean, that's okay, but a paint can, I could probably pass on that.
And like one of my main goals is that my buddy Eric behind here in the office next to me, he got me hooked on a freaking card game that's like a Pokemon game. It's called MetaZoo.
Yeah.
And they, like, I heard that, well, he told me that they were going to have special Mothman cards. So, I mean, that was my goal to accomplish.
And you got some? And very nice.
I got that one.
It's an accurate representation too.
Well, wait a minute. Now I have a different version that they put out, which is white or grayish white, which is actually more in line with the original description.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Except for the laser beams coming out of its eyes. And then I got a.
Headlight.
You weren't there, Kenny.
There's a Point Pleasant card.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Actually, like the arena. I know you probably can't see; it's blurry, but and that was cool. That's the kind of stuff that I like getting anyway. But overall, it's like I wasn't impressed, and I kind of really don't have to go again. But we did have time. What time is it? All right, we got time.
Yeah.
We did have time to go out to the TNT area.
Yep.
So we went out there a couple times. I went out there. Me and Daniel went out there Friday and just walked around the mountains. We got in some of the mountains. I got to show you. Hold on.
It's like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah. Well, while he's doing that, I'll tell you, a local news channel had estimated the number of visitors at 15,000.
For that size of an area, I believe it, because I think I sent, I don't know, maybe it was you or Jen and my kiddo. I sent him a picture. I had to go get some cash because I'm like, okay, who the hell doesn't take a card at a thing like this? But there's a couple places that didn't, and he needed cash. So I went to the ATM of that bank right off of the main strip there.
Yeah.
I waited in line, standing in line with a bunch of other people in cars. It had to be a half hour just to get cash. It was ridiculous. Just so busy.
So while in the TNT area, we found in one of the bunkers, these are soil samples that were in jars marked. This is from 1984. And I don't know what they were doing, but there was a few hundred of these jars.
Well, either the EPA or the military is going to be coming to
Kenny's.
Kenny.
If you knew anything about West Virginia, you would know you would not want to take. Do not break that jar.
You might want to put that. You might want to put that in a concrete.
I'm going to shrink wrap it just to keep it. But I was like, oh, this is cool. Most of them were smashed, and they're all.
You're going to sell haunted Mothman dirt, aren't you?
Right. That's right. I'm going to put them in little vials, and I'm going to sell it for like $60 each. So hit me up if you want one. This is authentic dirt from the Mothman era.
Mothman dirt. Yeah. So it was crowded, but it was fun. I mean, it's a festival, get a nice day, mosey around. If you're a fan of the movie or the story or that particular cryptid and what people reported, you definitely would have to go. It was fun. But yeah, the crowd, we're not big fans of the crowd. So we got there, I think, an hour, 2 hours earlier than you both did. So it wasn't horrible yet, but boy, by the time we finally met up with you, everything on that one street, the side streets, then down along that river path area, super crowded. It was mainly all vendors.
And it sucks because we left early and it took us, I don't know how long, like an hour more to actually get from the bridge, which is right on the edge of town, to a parking spot, which should have only taken us like 2 minutes during normal
2 minutes
driving. Yeah.
And I think we got lucky. We got really lucky with a parking spot. Like we were right beside this local. It was local shop owner that was making $20.
Bank.
Yeah, we were
rightfully so.
Local place too is like $20 for the whole day. So that's not
bad. And it was pretty. It was pretty close, but we were very lucky. They let out a car just as we were right in the right spot.
We did track down where the old powerhouse used to be, where the first sighting took place.
Yep.
And we drove back there. We drove back around, because it's fenced in now. And we didn't know, but you could camp there. Yeah. People had tents set up.
A bunch of people.
Tents just
brought in campers.
Camping. Yeah.
Pull in.
Is that state? That's state ground?
I don't know.
Natural area?
I didn't realize.
Or just people decided to. Nobody will notice with the homeless problem in the U.S. these days. Just pop a tent up.
I'm not sure. I know it's like
definitely a park. It's set up. It looks like it's set up for RVing.
I thought it was a natural area at least.
It's part of the wildlife.
There's
so I don't know what it is.
Field or a baseball field adjacent to it or right inside of it.
Okay, well, next year maybe we have to go camping.
Yeah.
It would be certainly cheaper, and I would be up for that because it's right next. I mean, if you're going to camp at a place like this, to do it where the first sighting took place,
that would be cool.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I would definitely do that.
All right. I'm gonna pull up a couple questions or comments as you look for if it was a natural area. I think that's what you're doing anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too that we did find the area. I think I did go back Sunday night, and I think I found the exact road and like turn and the first hill that they describe in the original story. So I actually drove it and
Mhm.
filmed the entire thing. So
Oh, that's
I have
cool.
it. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Nice. All right. John Kennedy. Everyone is shaved.
Yeah.
Got your fall clean look going on there
I
today.
got definite scruff going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see it. I
I'm
haven't shaved in days.
I'm presenting. I'm instructing in a week-long training. So
Oh,
as a trainer, I guess I'm supposed to at least attempt.
you
Look,
didn't want to look like Bigfoot.
I did probably would be better.
All right. Next question. Kat. Hey, Kat. Have you seen Allison Jornland's YouTube channels? One is all about Mothman. Yes, I've seen those, and I've also watched some of the investigative work that she did on the supposed Chicago Mothman sightings that have been going on for a couple years now. But yeah, definitely check out her YouTube videos if you want to see a little bit more and then learn a little bit more about the Chicago Mothman sightings, which I don't know if I haven't kept up on it recently, but for a while they were in the news. They were on the variety of different cryptid and paranormal websites, and then this whole group, I'm in charge, you shouldn't be going and talking to people that I talk to supposedly. And once people started digging into it, and I think Allison was one of them, you start digging into it and finding that some of the stories that some of the original investigators reported didn't really match up. Names of streets, angles, views, what you could see, what you couldn't see. There was a lot of discrepancies there. So yeah, if you want to learn a little bit more, that's good. So thanks, Kat.
I did find the area, and it's the Mason County Fairgrounds.
Oh, okay.
So I think maybe next year, or not next year, but next time, if we decide to go and meet up, maybe we can do a camping weekend.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome. Just hang
Well,
out.
I think you guys came down here. We should go. I think I should travel to someone else this time.
I'm telling you, got to come up to Chicago, man. We got Bachelor's Grove. We got a bunch of other Joliet Prison. You got Mantino, which isn't there anymore. The Mantino State Hospital, Mantino Mental Health. That's not there anymore, but there's still areas you can walk around. So there's a lot of fun stuff to go check out. Not to mention just cool places to go in Chicago and around the area to eat and drink.
Yeah, I definitely want to hit Bachelor's Grove.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
on my to-do list.
All right.
I have a picture. I'm going to try to email it.
Let me turn this one off. We'll get back to Kat's question there, but if Tim has a picture, we'll share it here.
Oh, I'm just now getting it. So
okay, well, let's answer another question. Yep. What are your thoughts on whether Mothman tries to warn people or intends to do harm to them? Let's start with Tim on this one.
I think since he's from West Virginia, he's obviously trying to warn people. He's very helpful. Absolutely.
The one in Chicago is obviously either a gangster or a mobster, so probably hurting people.
Oh man.
I know it is interesting though how, and we talked about this on the last show, I think, on how they had all the sightings, then after the bridge collapsed, it stopped. So I think people were potentially interpreting that as it was a warning. Right. Yeah. Not so much as I think it was it Tim or Kenny that which one of you brought up the idea that maybe it was just a distraction? People had bigger things to worry about, all the death, all the destruction, and they just kind of forgot about it and the frenzy died down.
Yeah, I think I started talking about that. Yeah. Because I mean, once that happens, you lose interest in a creature that may or may not exist. And
right,
your thoughts go to the families and how can you do to help? Because that's a small town, so that's a small community, and I'm sure everybody knew everyone, and it would just devastate the entire community. So yeah, I would definitely go into that. But as I mean, I'll just chime in with my my stereotypical answer of I don't even know if Mothman is real, so I can't tell whether it might be harmful or not. I don't think it was. And I think the more we looked into it, like after the last show, and then going through being there and then study, because I studied the shit out of the 2 books that I got from the museum to find the location and stuff. And looking at all the reports, I'm pretty sure, at least in my mind, I think it was just multiple different birds that people saw. Oh my God. There you go.
Yeah, so that's where we walked. So you can see the barriers. So that starts the festival, and
Yep.
and that's the width of the buildings at least. And this is the street. And if you notice, this is what I think Kenny and I both, and Dave, I'm sure, but the businesses, some were open.
Yeah.
But the vendors are it's like 3 or 4 feet into the street. So
On
all
each
these people,
side.
people are forced to be just here.
Yeah.
And back here are like the vendor stockpiles. So trying to walk back there, you were often blocked.
Yeah.
But
That was
that's a lot of people. Look, this guy notices we're taking his camera. I'm probably going to get my ass kicked when he figures out. He's looking at me like, you don't take my picture. Yeah. So very good economic boost for that place.
For
I'm
sure.
very happy for him. But I would hope that the organizers would rethink about opening that whole street again. You know, it was probably double, if not a little bit more space when I was there before.
Yeah. And the next night, I mean, when I went back Sunday night, I walked, everything was clear. Like the streets were bare. I think there were only like 3 cars or 4 cars parked on it. And I walked
to a
up,
natural West Virginia city environment.
I walked up to the statue, and I know they had the live cam on. So I actually stood there and I texted my wife. I was like, hey, go to this link and look for me. I'm standing here. And I don't have anywhere to go because there's nobody here.
That's
but then one
hilarious.
guy did walk up, and I talked to him. He was from Florida, and he came up for the festival, and we actually talked for a while. But yeah, it was night and day.
Crazy.
That just all those people, and then boom, gone.
All right, Alan, speaking of West Virginia museums, have you checked out the Afterlife Museum? If I recall, the tour guide mentioned you, Kenny, with one of the objects, a Dr. Seuss The Foot Book.
Oh, that's where we went, Tim.
Oh, forgot my name? We did the test.
Yeah,
we did the blood test.
We
That's right.
solved that.
Yeah.
We solved it.
We solved that case of the Dr. Seuss book
in one night.
One night, yeah, that was
direct from the owner of the book's mouth.
Right. Yeah, we got in touch with him, and I talked to him on the phone, and he gave me all the information that I needed to verify that it was him. And yeah, we actually solved that mystery, which I don't know if he still has it in the museum or not, but I think I wrote about it.
I think it was chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
I
thought it was more like SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs, chocolate ice cream. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think we're 50-50 on that.
All right. Melissa wants to know, does Mothman have a kryptonite? Obviously, it's collapsing bridges.
Skepticism.
Critical thinking. Damn it.
Park ranger.
Park ranger with a 357. Mothman's like, ooh, game's over later.
Oh, man.
Well, Tim, what do you think? Does it have a kryptonite?
Probably. What's that show that they wear overalls and have long beards and take rifles?
Mountain Men or monsters?
I don't
Mountain
know.
Monsters?
Beans, yes, beans.
Beans
and
and
Mountain Dew.
Apparently beans. Oh my God, that was disgusting. Just all those beans. Just cans and cans. And people ask, like, you gotta, where was that warning? There was a plea from
Mountain
the
Monsters.
township.
That's what it was.
Mountain Monsters, yeah. Asking people, please don't bring beans and Mountain Dew. Take it to a homeless shelter or something. Don't leave them at the statue. Wow.
I'm not sure how that started, actually.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I do believe we have photo evidence of Kenny touching Mothman's butt, though, at some point.
Oh, I'm sure, because that was fun.
Mothman's ripped, man, according to that statue.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to test him.
No, he looks like he'd kick all of our asses at one time.
But at the same time,
All right.
I'm looking here because I speaking of photo evidence, I want to see. I have a picture that I wanted to share because I thought it was really, really good, and my pride and joy of the entire weekend. As soon as I find it here, besides the one of all of us giving the finger to the camera.
Oh yeah, I should find that one and put that up.
So let's see, share screen, window, this one, there we go. So
God.
Oh, that's my buddy Tim with his idol. One of his many idols.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
I should have known. But it's
awesome.
good. It's for good. It makes for a good joke.
Where's that? So I do have. I think I do have.
That's the first guy that banned me.
I mean, that's awesome. I love that. I think that's so nice.
Time heals all wounds, Tim. You're taking pictures with the guy that banned you.
Yeah, the first one. That's very important. I like that.
That
was my first.
That popped your cherry.
My first vicar.
So that is actually the original vicaring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All over a stupid battery.
Jesus. All right. Anything else on Mothman?
Nah. I mean, we went into a lot of the legend and all that on the last show. So, I mean, just as a final thought on the festival, I mean, it was fun for the day. If you really weren't there for a purpose, like I had, my purpose really was, to investigate, to try to film, which I didn't actually get to do. I filmed a little bit, but I really wanted to talk to people, but there were just so many people that it just wasn't a good fit. But I got some trinkets and, I'm happy. So it was fun.
Yep. Tim?
I was far more happy to see you guys. Absolutely. Far more.
Oh, what a nice guy. It was fun.
It was a little again, it was great. I'm glad that they have that for that community. I'm sure that brings in a lot of revenue.
Yeah.
I was just kind of stunned that it would take on such a bigger persona and then they would cut the space almost in half.
Yeah.
Which was yeah,
definitely a fun time. If you like the movie, you like the story, go check it out. Just be ready to fight the crowds. And our recommendation, I guess, would be if you want to go to the museum, you do it the day before or the day after the festival is there, because otherwise you're probably not going to get in unless you show up at 6 a.m. and get in line.
Here you go. Here's a picture before we go. That's the next day, the next night.
Jeez.
So that's all those people you saw in Tim's picture were all here. And that's it.
Crazy.
Gone. And I think the next picture, there you go. That's the 3 vehicles that were on the street.
One of them's yours.
Yeah. The one in the middle is mine. That's it. So
that's good.
There you go.
Cool. All right. Well, that does it for Mothman Festival. Good time. Good to see you guys. So let's move on to ChatGPT. I think everybody's heard about it. And you guys have played around with it, I assume.
Yes.
Even before we came up with this idea to type paranormal questions in it.
I have it on my bookmarks bar right above you, actually, Dave.
Cool.
Trying to explain how it works exactly. I'm not going to attempt. It's supposed to be, there's probabilities involved. There's neural networking. There's machine learning. It's pretty complicated. So I started reading about it. I thought, maybe we can just give them a nutshell review of what it does. And what I just mentioned is probably about as good as you're going to get from me. It's pretty cool though. So we thought what we would do is ask a paranormal related question and see what it spits out. Because the idea is it scans all the available sources that are out there. and then it looks for probabilities of word combinations and machine learning. And I guess if we all had enough people and we asked it, another 100 times on what is a ghost, it might change the answer a little bit here and there. You won't always, if I understand right, you might not always get the exact same answer.
You're right. Yeah.
As more information feeds in, or it's responded to it, and it might learn from people doing follow-ups or whatever else other learning that they're doing. So it's pretty interesting. It's pretty useful. A lot of people are using it for a variety of different things and in different contexts. We're looking at it at work to help with certain types of marketing and messaging, and it's pretty cool. The one thing you got to look out for is it's pretty easy to type in, write an email to Kenny on whatever subject X, and you give it a little more guidance, and it comes up with a pretty good email. And I'm thinking, Jesus, they're
Yeah.
gonna take over the world.
Right.
So anyway, that's kind of my opening comments on ChatGPT, and I will turn it over to Kenny for his, and then Tim, and then we'll jump into the questions and the answers we got.
I've been playing with it on and off. Sometimes I just put it up on the screen, and it's a good resource where I can ask a question, like you guys were saying, put a question in there and see what it comes up with, and it gives me avenues, to go, so I can look further into something or check it, because I'm always worried. I mean, there was, and I can't quote the actual names, but I know there was a lawyer/court document that they used ChatGPT, and it created court cases that never existed
Oh shit.
as references. And I actually have it. We had a law student
Really?
that was volunteering here, and we talked about it, and he found it for me. So he sent me the link and the information. I haven't gone through it yet.
Did they
But yeah.
call it out as it being false and get into an argument with it? Because I've read some of the news stories. Some of those arguments are pretty interesting.
So again, I haven't gone into that part yet, because I really want to. I want to explore that a little bit, to see if there was an issue with the user or the AI. I don't know. So I always fact check it. But again, it's a good resource to give me an avenue to go. Something I also want to bring up is that it's only trained up to September 2021.
Correct. Yep.
So anything
That's as long
after
as they've
that,
done, the training or the learning, and yeah.
right. So if
Good
we're
point.
trying to do something that's more recent, like this year, it won't know. It won't know about it. So, but again, it's still a good resource. It gives me a lot of avenues. And like you, I mean, I asked it to write a bio for me, because I hate writing about myself. Absolutely hate it. So it's like, hey, write a bio for Kenny Biddle, and it spit one out, and I was like, damn, it makes me sound so good. Like, I'm saving that shit. Send that out to everybody. But yeah, I mean, I usually try to feed it some information that I've already written. Maybe if I don't know how to explain something, in a good way, it does a great job of explaining it in terms that we can all understand in a shorter amount of space than I think I could. So that helps me with word count, for articles and stuff. So yeah, I do like it, and it's fun. Sometimes I just sit here and have conversations with it. Like it's my personal Jarvis. Like, hey, what's going on? Who's Iron Man? What's this? Who do you think would win, Superman or the Hulk? I know.
Just keeps coming back. Jarvis sucks.
So that's my thoughts. I'll
All right.
pass it to Tim.
When I started it just on a personal use, I asked for ideas on waivers for the haunted item. And I was just like, give me ideas. I gave it the parameters of what was going on. And I was like, well, this will give me a good idea to write up a waiver that would be okay. And I did it. It spit something back out, and I was like, I'm not going to edit this. I don't think at all. It was brilliant. It was just like, oh my God, I could not write that well. Then at the escape room, we have an escape room, and we needed for one of our new escape challenges, we needed some obituaries, and we wanted we used the photo AI to come up with to generate a non-existent person, so that we could use. And then we just wrote up a short, like write an obituary for this gentleman. You know, he loved fishing, loved his truck, and loved hunting. And I mean, just like you almost knew the guy after you read the obituary. It was impressive, to say the least. It was good.
All right. So, who wants to go first? Or more importantly, how do we want to do this? Do we want to just read the question and then read the answer and we can comment on it? Or do you want to read the question, we can guess at what we think it'll say and then talk about it? What's the preference?
Are you going to type the questions in?
I don't have it set up on my computer. I was just
I do.
what I did.
Hold on, I
ahead of
do.
time.
Tim's
You
got
do?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
All right.
All right. We'll just have Tim do it then.
Yeah.
I'll share
we
your
go.
screen when you got it ready there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tim is now the master of running this show.
Nope, which is probably very scary. What am I doing?
What are you doing? I'm trying to sign in as well.
All right. Does anybody know this? Does ChatGPT pass the Turing test?
The Turing test.
I'm going to come right out and say I don't have any idea.
Let's see. Did ChatGPT pass the Turing test? Oh, that came up first thing. Has passed the Turing test, and if you're freaked out, you're not alone. Despite just releasing ChatGPT 4, OpenAI is already working on a 5th iteration of the immensely popular chat thing. So yes, it has passed. What is the Turing test? What is it? I don't know. I'm going to look it up now too. That is originally called the Imitation Game by Alan Turing in 1950. Is a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable.
Ooh, drink.
Shut up. From that of a human. Ooh.
So you basically don't know if you'd be talking to a human or a computer.
Right.
Oh, the screen's bright.
All right. I'm in.
So I typed it at the same time, and it said, in summary, ChatGPT does not pass the Turing test. It lacks the genuine human-like intelligence and consciousness. It's a tool designed for generating text-based responses based on patterns and data.
Okay.
So that is interesting.
That is interesting.
Dun, dun, dun. All
right. We ready?
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm
So
good. Are you good to go, Tim? I'm good.
Yeah, I am. I'm going to do one that I have done in the past, and I hope it's not too long. But I had asked for it to design a scientifically valid with methods that's to test the existence of ghosts.
Ooh.
Oh. And his
I
whole screen lights up and he vaporizes.
Sorry.
Oh, the rest of his lights in the house are flickering.
We have thus created a ghost.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh shit! I can't spell.
You can't spell. We should have had more preparation for this.
Probably, but you know.
Let's see.
All right, so I'm going to have to. I will summarize this.
All right.
It's giving me steps. It's really good. So objective is to rigor. Do you want me to just share this? Hold on.
Yeah, just share it.
We go back to you. Present. Share screen. Window.
And there it is.
All right. Oh, I can't. So you can see objective is to rigorously investigate claims of ghostly activity and determine if there's any evidence. Literature review. Oh, Dave will like that. You don't do anything until literature review. Dave's already like, oh, this is real.
It's the smartest thing on the planet.
Yeah. Literature review. Very good. Hypothesis. Oh shit! I'm getting a buzz. Hypothesis development. Experimental setup. So it doesn't give you what. It just says equip the location with various sensors and instruments, including EMF detectors.
Yeah, but if they're pulling that from the literature, remember, it's
Yeah.
while it might not be conclusive, that's one thing they look at.
Yeah, my first thought was it's probably looked and searched about 20,000 good catch, bro websites.
Good catch, bro.
At the end, yeah, you must what to wear, black shirts.
So basically, it's just spelling out the scientific method for you.
Yeah, data collection,
Yeah.
analysis, peer review.
Yep.
How nice is that? Replication. Look at that.
This proves that the paranormal and ghosts are not outside the realm of science, as some people think. So they have
Right.
free reign.
Right? Replication, awesome. Conclusion, publication, and open discussion.
It's kind of a general vanilla answer.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But there,
All right.
I've seen worse.
Okay. Kenny?
So I got one. I'm gonna share it already because I already popped it in there.
All right.
There we go. So I asked, can science test whether ghosts exist?
Oh.
And it gave me a pretty decent answer. Science, as it is currently understood and practiced, cannot definitively test whether ghosts exist. This is because existence of ghosts is a matter of the supernatural or paranormal, and science deals with the natural world and phenomena that can be observed, measured, and tested through empirical methods. Ghosts, if they exist, are typically described as supernatural entities that may not interact with the physical world in a predictable or measurable manner. However, it is important to note that many scientific investigations have been conducted to explore claims of paranormal activity, including hauntings and ghostly encounters. These investigations often use tools and methods such as electromagnetic field detectors, infrared cameras, and audio recording equipment to gather data in places where paranormal events are reported. While some of these investigations have produced intriguing and unexplained results, they have not provided definitive evidence of the existence of ghosts. The lack of conclusive scientific evidence for ghosts does not necessarily prove or disprove their existence. It simply means that the current scientific methodologies and tools may not be suitable for studying or detecting paranormal phenomenon if they exist. Belief in ghosts often falls into the realm of personal experiences, anecdotes, and cultural beliefs, and it can vary widely from person to person. And then it summarizes basically what we just read. So
Okay.
that's not bad. I mean,
Pretty
that's
fair.
Yeah, that's a fair answer.
Yeah. Not bad.
All right.
Okay. Good. All right.
Next up.
I'll just read mine. Is parapsychology a legitimate field of study? So the answer, absolutely. Parapsychology is indeed a legitimate field of study that explores phenomena beyond the scope of conventional scientific understanding. It focuses on topics such as ESP, telepathy, precognition, and psychokinesis. While some may be skeptical, there are dedicated researchers who conduct rigorous scientific investigations to better understand these phenomena and their potential implications. Parapsychology encourages open-mindedness and offers a fascinating perspective on the mysteries of the human mind and consciousness. Yeah. It goes on, and it goes on to some other stuff, but that's kind of the highlights there. So, all right, that was interesting. All right, we got time for at least one more round. So, Tim.
Oh, well, let's see. No one else put anything in?
I'm ready. I mean, if you're not.
I mean, I can just give you a question. We could just give you a question. You type it in and share it and read it. That's fine too.
Hold on, I closed mine. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. What's the question?
Okay. Is there scientific evidence for PSI? PSI.
The sound of keys typing.
Yep. Sorry.
Oh,
All right.
that's
So
right.
I
I'm
can,
doing it too.
I can do it. Let's see. The existence of psi, which includes phenomena like telepathy, precognition, and clairvoyance, has been the subject of scientific investigations for many years. Okay. While there have been numerous studies and experiments conducted to investigate psi, the results have often been inconclusive or failed to meet rigorous scientific standards. Many scientists and skeptics argue that the available evidence can be explained by chance, statistic anomalies, or flaws in experimental design. It's important to note that the scientific community operates on this principle of skepticism and demands robust evidence for accepting new phenomena as valid. So far, despite considerable interest and effort, psi phenomena have not met this criterion.
See, it's interesting. So if I use the chat on, which is basically the same thing on an iPhone for an app, it's a slightly different answer.
Mm-hmm.
It talks about the scientific investigation. While some scientists remain skeptical, it says there are indeed studies and evidence that suggest the existence of psi. Numerous experiments have been conducted to examine telepathy, clairvoyance, yada, 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 and some have yielded statistically significant results. However, it's important to note that the scientific community is still actively researching and debating this topic, so the evidence should be considered in light of ongoing exploration and investigation.
I did the same thing, and mine is a little slightly different too. It says the existence of psi is a highly controversial and debated topic within the scientific community. Psi phenomena include telepathy, blah, blah, blah. While some individuals and parapsychologists claim to have observed this and studied psi phenomena, the scientific consensus remains skeptical due to a lack of robust and replicable. What the
Drake.
repeatable evidence.
There you go. Yeah, it's
all right.
It's not wrong. I mean, it's pretty. The answers are pretty fair. So, what else? Anybody got another question?
I asked, do mediums really talk to spirits?
That's good timing.
Yeah, you almost got me there. And survey says
the question of whether mediums can genuinely communicate with spirits is a matter of considerable debate and skepticism. Mediums claim to have the ability to communicate with the deceased or spirits from the afterlife and convey messages from them to the living. However, the scientific community as a whole has not found convincing empirical evidence to support the existence of such abilities. Several factors contribute to skepticism regarding mediumship. And I won't go into the whole thing, but it says 1, a lack of scientific evidence, 2, cold reading and psychological techniques, 3, placebo effect, and 4, fraud. And in summary, let's see. It's important to note that while skepticism is widespread, there are individuals who genuinely believe in the abilities of mediums and have personal experiences that they find convincing. Belief in mediums and spiritual communication often relies on personal and subjective factors such as one's faith, cultural background, and individual experiences. And then it summarizes, which, I mean, it does lean on skepticism in these answers. Because when I put the about psi too, it leaned heavily on skepticism. But I mean, overall, I agree with it. I agree with the whole summary and the idea surrounding it. And unfortunately, my experiences have just all been negative when it comes to mediums. And so, I mean, I'm still looking, but you know.
This is interesting by Daniel. Great idea. I wonder how it would respond if you asked it to write its response as a skeptic, then ask it to write its response as if it were a believer.
I don't think you can do that.
Yeah, you can you can give it parameters. Like you can say, write me a poem in the style of Poe, or
as a believer.
Here, while you're doing that, I'll do a short one.
Mediums.
I asked, what piece of equipment would you recommend to check for ghosts? And it said, as of my knowledge, update in September 2021. There is no scientific evidence to support the existence of ghosts or paranormal phenomena. God. Therefore, I cannot recommend any piece of equipment for checking on ghosts because there is no scientific basis for such investigations.
God, you just took out all the ghost hunting equipment stores right there.
Yeah.
Damn it, Tim. That's a reverse vickering.
Oof.
So I asked it, how much time? As a believer, do mediums talk to spirits? And it almost gave me the same kind of answer, but it said belief in mediums and their ability to communicate with spirits varies widely among individuals. Many people believe mediums can genuinely communicate with spirits. These beliefs are often rooted in personal experiences, culture. It's kind of the same thing. It's important to recognize that beliefs in mediums and spirit communication are often matters of faith and personal conviction rather than scientific consensus. While there is skepticism within the scientific community regarding the existence of such abilities, individuals who have had meaningful or convincing experiences with mediums may hold firm beliefs in their abilities. Ultimately, whether you believe that mediums can talk to spirits or not is a personal belief that may be influenced by your own experiences, beliefs, and cultural background. And then it says it's advisable to exercise caution and discernment and to be aware of the potential for both genuine experiences and deception. So, I mean, I thought that was a pretty fair answer.
Yeah.
It's not like in your face, no, it doesn't work, or yes, it does. It's saying these are the beliefs out there, and if you're going to do it, use caution. So, not bad.
So Kat is asking, could you ask it to approach the matter from different viewpoints? I think that's what we were just trying to get at, and not specify those it's supposed to have. Oh, so yeah, I get. So are you asking Kat, like, could you ask the question in a skeptical way or a believer way without saying you're a skeptic or a believer?
So I don't know if this will help, but I asked, as Neil deGrasse Tyson, provide an argument for the existence of alien life. And it said, certainly, I can provide the argument for the existence of alien life, channeling the perspective of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Channeling. Interesting. It uses the word channeling.
Yeah.
Doesn't believe in mediums, huh?
Yeah. So I thought that was great. So, I mean, it gives a kind of lengthy, but it just says, it starts out, the universe is unimaginably vast, contains billions of galaxies with billions of stars and countless planets. With this cosmic expanse, we've discovered that conditions for life as we know it can exist in a wide range of environments. From something very sciencey I can't pronounce on Earth to the potential subsurface oceans of moons in our own solar system. When you consider the sheer number of planets out there, it becomes statistically improbable that the Earth is the only planet where life has emerged.
But that's life, not intelligent life. There could be very simple single-celled organisms that are considered life.
Right.
Well, there could be somebody looking at us and going, well, there's things there, but it's not intelligent.
Dude, I'm telling you, they fly by and tell them to roll the windows up and keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Any last questions we want to ask it? Maybe one more, and then we'll closing thoughts and wrap it up.
No, I mean, I asked it.
Do you want to search a certain paranormal investigator that becomes possessed every week on TV?
And ask what? Like, how are we going to do that? Because it'll just give me like the promotional bullshit. It is.
Does Zach Bagans actually get possessed on his TV show?
Bagans get possessed on his TV show. I mean, it's going to say yes. Let's see. Zach Bagans is a paranormal investigator and the host of television series Ghost Adventures. On the show, he and his team visit various... while the show often features dramatic and intense encounters with alleged spirits, the question of whether Zach Bagans or any member of his team actually gets possessed is a matter of debate and controversy. In the context of paranormal investigation shows like Ghost Adventures, it's common for dramatic and suspenseful moments to be highlighted for entertainment purposes. These moments can include instances where investigators claim to have had physical or emotional experiences attributed to spirits. Such claims are often met with skepticism, and many viewers and critics believe that these experiences may be exaggerated or influenced by the atmosphere of the show. It is important to remember that television shows like Ghost Avengers are produced for entertainment and may not accurately represent scientific or objective investigations into paranormal phenomena. The use of terms like possession and the dramatic presentation of encounters with spirits should be viewed with the context of television programming. Ultimately, whether you believe Zach Baggins or his team gets possessed on the show is a matter of personal interpretation and belief. Some viewers may take these claims at face value, while others may view them as part of the entertainment value of the show.
I'm getting a vision in my head. You know what you're going to see now in Zach's museum? A picture of Kenny that says no entry, and a picture with an X through it for ChatGPT is not allowed to be used in this facility.
The only problem I have with that statement is that they claim that the show is entertaining. I don't agree with that at all.
At least they said it's for entertainment. It's entertaining.
Right.
That's a
Right.
anyway. Interesting. That was fun. We might have to revisit that sometime when we come up with some other questions.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Closing thoughts on ChatGPT, Kenny.
Again, I think it's a great, useful resource. It gives you a direction to go in. It helps. It's very good at explaining things to you in a very simple manner. And it goes the extra distance. I mean, it gives like 4, 5, 6 paragraphs for each question that we asked it, and it really explained it, and it summarized it. I mean, so if you have all the information, and then you can use the summary if you want to. So I really do like it. It's great for writing letters, or just explaining simple or complex concepts in simple terms. So I like it for that. And I can also ask it like, hey, what's this? And it'll explain things to me. And it'll give me a better idea. Like, instead of just going to Google and saying, what is this? And getting a standard like dictionary definition, it gives me a full explanation of it. And I like that. So I definitely use this, and I'm going to keep using it. I've dabbled a little bit in the artistic versions of it, for paintings and stuff like that, drawings and illustrations. It is neat. It is really cool to see like nightmares come to life. I like that. So, but all in all, it's a good, handy tool, and I'm saying that with the utmost respect. So when our AI overlords take over, they have pity on me. So, there you go.
There's a question for it. Will Kenny live or die when the AI takes over?
Ooh, I'm going to type that in.
Well, he does that. Tim, closing thoughts before Kenny's screen goes black on us and he disappears.
Oops. You're muted.
Oh, mine was muted. Sorry. I'm going to say mine was very close to Kenny's closure for sure. Like, it's great. That's why I have it on my bar. If I see a word, or if I see a phrase, or if I see something that I don't quite understand, I can ask just, what is this? What does this mean? Google's great. I'm not going to say Google's not great. I like Google. I use Google. But you just it's nice to type something into that and have a straightforward, without getting, the first page of advertisements. And, you just kind of got to scroll a little bit. Of course, it's not a lot of work, but it's a lot different just typing it right into chat GPT and having something. You can even ask for references on a topic. And of course, it's 2021 and you don't know exactly what you're going to get, but it gives you a good starting point on references as well.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I think the answers were fair. If you're looking at it truly from a fairness, scientific viewpoint, the answers were pretty good. I didn't have much of a problem with them. It is, limited by the date cutoff, but I'm assuming that, future versions or other learning and whatever, it'll catch up eventually. They'll do updates. But yeah, I thought it was fun. I'll play around with it some more. And like I said, we'd use it for other things. A lot of places are exploring it and using it for various work activities, which it's proving to be pretty powerful. Yeah. But at some level, sometimes I wonder, boy, it's just allowing us to become lazier and dumber. You can just type something in and let it write it up for you. You don't even have to think about it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old.
Well,
We're gonna have our old guys rant one of these days. Hey, back when I was a kid, you had to write your own damn papers.
That's why I only use it to help simplify something I've already written.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And just adapt a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't use it to write my whole article or even a paragraph. I use bits of it. So, and just for clarity, I did ask, and it's I'm a little bothered by the one paragraph where it says
Here we go.
It's unlikely that AI will take over the world. It put it in quotes, and I'm like, that bothers me. and then it's sucked up to me, like, we'll be working together and to do all this to augment human capabilities. I'm like, you're sugarcoating me. You're buttering me up.
I'm surprised you didn't say, considering how much you use me, we already do own you.
That's why I'm being nice.
That response sounds like after they take us over, they're just going to at least give us a pizza party.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, as long as it's a good pizza, not like Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
Your follow-up question could be, what are your thoughts on mind control and brainwashing?
All right, we got to go. You got to go. Because I can do this all night. This is great.
We could. We might have to pick this up again another time. So
okay.
All right. Who is up next? I don't even remember.
I think I follow you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I did last. I did the last one. All right. Cool.
All right. So 1 month from now, we'll be back November, and Tim will be in charge. So
and 29 days from now, you'll get the topic.
That's what we'll have our topic the day of.
It'll be about as prepared as we were to share our ChatGPT discussions and conversations. All right. With that, anybody have anything going on? Nothing for me. Be back to do 3 Tortured Souls in a month. We'll do Tim. Kenny's usually the longest, so go Tim.
Same. Do a show once a month with 3 good friends, and we get drunk while we do it and mispronounce a lot of words. So that's fun too. Other than that, I got the first round of the haunted objects back.
Ooh, yeah.
So so I'm getting ready to box them up and send them back. So I'm going to rotate them and see what happens then.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, Kenny.
So I got a few things. I'm trying to get through them quickly. So next Wednesday night here in Buffalo, if you're in the area, there is Downtown Central Library. There is a author, Mason Winfield. Anyway, he's doing a talk. He's doing a talk called City of Spirits, Famous Mediums, Psychical Research, and 2 Centuries of Buffalo's Psychic History.
That's cool.
So he's an author. I've met him once before. He came to my talk when I did it here. So I'm going to go check that out. If you're in the area, hit me up. We can meet there. The 14th, I'm going to, you're going to love this. Nick Groff is having his 4th season premiere of his show at a theater in Buffalo because he lives here. So I got tickets. So me and my
coworker met.
I know we haven't met yet. So this will be the first time. We'll see how that goes. And then let's see, October 19th. If you're also here in Buffalo, we're having it's a workshop here at the center. It's crafting and ghost stories. So we're gonna do mummified fairies. We're gonna create them from the little 6-inch skeletons that you get at the dollar store. And go through. We're buying all the supplies so you can come out, and it's like a family-friendly night where we can make mummified Halloween decorations.
So down in Mexico, they stole your mummified alien idea.
Yeah. Bastards. Freaking,
it sounds like fun,
man. That's a dehydrated ET. I know it. But other than that, at the end of the month is SciCon, so I'll be at October 26th to 29th. I'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada, doing SciCon. We're already getting ready here, so there's a lot of stuff going around during the day. But I'll be giving a workshop on Thursday that's sold out. We sold out, so I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. Cool. And I think there's going to be a bunch of people there. I'm looking forward to it. I know Bill Nye is showing up. He's one of our
Nice.
big names coming out. I'll get to hang out with him a little bit. And then my good friend Melanie Tresick King will be out there. I think Daniel, are you coming out? I think he is, with his wife, because we did talk about it. So I think he's coming out too. But other than that, there's a bunch of other stuff, but I won't get into it. I'll save it for the next show.
All right.
I'm done.
Good deal. All right. Well, we will see you in about a month. Everybody take care, be safe, and see you soon.
And for what you say, I will get you better.